Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. I hope that today's episode finds you well. It is 3:40 a.m. I was planning on recording this episode in the afternoon. I have been trying to record these episodes in the afternoon. However, as I've been saying every episode, it's a pretty busy week. I woke up today around like 1. I started working on projects, and then at 10, at 11, I think it was, I was like, okay, done working on projects for the day. I did not stream as a result. It was a busy day. I got a lot done today, though. I turned in one project. We had like a midpoint review for it, which I turned in today. And I'm halfway done with the other project, which isn't due until Sunday. It was a really, like, I feel good. It was a very productive day for me today. Usually I push stuff off real bad, but I had something due today, so I used the momentum from finishing that project up, which I'd been working on it throughout the week. It was a group project, and I'd been working on it with my group, and I put on the finishing touches and turned it in, and I used that momentum to go, okay, I'm going to keep going. And here we are. And since I didn't stream, I was going to record this earlier in the evening, but my power's been out. I just got power back on like 10 minutes ago or so. And so here we are at 3:40 in the morning. I was a little worried because they said they weren't going to be able to restore power until like 8 or 9 in the morning. And I was like, ah, shit, I'm going to have to wake up early to do Monster Train. But no, they got it back earlier than expected, thankfully. With my power being out, I obviously could not play video games as I was. So I grabbed my phone, put on my headphones, and I watched a movie. That's going to lead into the question for today. I watched a movie called Laura. It's from 1944. It is a film noir detective movie. It was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I've been, on my nights off, I've been watching film noir detective movies. Something that I really like film noir stuff. I like detectives, I like mysteries, I like things of that nature. It's an aesthetic that I enjoy quite a bit, is the grizzled 40s private eye. And I like to watch movies with other people, but nobody that I know likes these movies, so I just started watching them myself. Normally I just wait to watch movies until someone else wants to watch it with me, but nobody I know likes these movies, so I've just been watching them myself, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It was a great movie. I would recommend it if you like film noir stuff. It has a pretty fun twist that got spoiled for me because all of the descriptions spoil it, but it was a good time. It leads into the question, what's your favorite genre of movie? If you had to pick. I'm big on film noir. I also like action a lot. We've been doing community movie nights in the Discord, and I really liked Judge Dredd, and I really liked Edge of Tomorrow. But I think I like mystery detective stuff more. I like the 1940s, 1930s private eye character. Everyone smokes in those movies, though. It's always so wild. Like, it's crazy how prevalent it was back then. People will just light up, probably go through about a pack of cigarettes every movie. Not me, but the characters. They smoke a lot. Yeah, they smoke a lot. Anyway, that's what I did today. And let's play Monster Train, shall we? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Wurmkin Exile Awoken. We got Rage Talos, Darkness Arcus, Diligent Seraph, Bogfly, Steel Enhancer, Power of Knowledge. I hope that this video gets out. Like, I hope my power doesn't go out during this recording. I have no reason to think it will, but I'm always suspicious. I'm going to click on Karuska here. Karuska is good if I click a single extract card in this run, and I am more inclined to do so, although I'm already going to click any extract card they show me in the next 2 combats, so yeah, Karuska makes that easier. Winged Indulgence, never a bad take, but yeah, we got Chef with Exile Awoken. It's a very good combo. I'm actually interested in playing Infector here. We got Root Seeds, we got Steel Enhancer. I'm interested in playing Infector here. Let's do it. Infector is awkward because Infector doesn't really become a strong carry until combat, or until after the Arcus fight. So it's gonna be weird, because he doesn't get the 3rd multi-strike until then. Something to keep in mind. We could have played Reap, but I always play Reap, so I wanted to play something else here. I'm going to look for something to leverage the value that I'll be getting out of the Infector, because we're going to have a lot of echoes to play with. Bogfly works. You know I want to play Keeper of Echoes. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's cut to the chase here. I want to play Keeper of Echoes. I don't know if Keeper of Echoes is good. I think if we could play 2 Keeper of Echoes, that would be exceptional. To that end, if the game shows me sketches, I will click it, no questions asked. Is it good? Well, no, because I'd have to find Restoring Retreat, but I want it. You see. That's the point here that I'm trying to make. I don't know. I reap my own man. I don't know if it's good. I know that I want it. So let's see what they show us. Echo Transfer. It says Extract. Plays off of Karuska. This card is very good. Wildwood Sap is okay. It's purple, but I don't actually need to click purple that aggressively in this combat, or in this run, because I don't have any reason to. Nothing that I do needs purple right now, and we already have good purples with Root Seeds. So I'm going to take Restoration Detonation to heal my frontliner and kill an enemy frontliner potentially. Very strong, very powerful card Restoration Detonation will be. Quick plus 25 and 510. That's 2 eggs. I will... This is actually a pretty easy choice. Bog Deep Cocoon, for a very large number of reasons, is untakeable here. The least of which is I cannot play it with Chef. So we'll take Bog Chrysalis and we will use it as a frontliner for the Chef in the next combat by giving it plus 25. I could throw it a Value Stone, but I could see myself taking Multi-Strike and then just forcing it as my line, so I won't do it. Take Emblem of the Exiles here, in case Divinity doesn't do much, and this gives a lot of health. So we crush Relentless right now, and what I want to keep an eye out for is Extreme Stone Holdover. I think I can take the Spikes trial here. I want the money. I should look ahead after this. Actually, you know what? Let's look ahead right now. I'm pretty lazy about doing this. Steel Shop. I have no unit right now. I don't know what unit I want, though, is the problem. Like, Awoken Hollow? No. I want, like, Shard Soul Carver or Keeper of Echoes, right? Something like that. This is really unfortunate that the Infiltrator got the buff here. I should give this Bogfly plus 3 so it doesn't die. Don't want it to die from spikes, you know. You know. Go Transfer gives me... hang on. Go Transfer gives me energy here, which I can use to... I think... Oh, I never gave the Bog Chrysalis attack. That's what I should have done. Ah, that's my own fault. Although... I guess it would save me 4 damage overall. This is 8 that I have to take from the Infiltrator, and then I could have saved myself 4 or gotten the... Oh, Reap doesn't trigger. It saved me. Yeah. I'm a fool. Reap doesn't trigger. It's an egg. Terrible. Very unfortunate. Hate to see it. Now, this time Reap will trigger because the egg will not eat all of the echoes, but... What a fool I am. I should be buffing up the egg a little more. We took 20. I would take the trial again. The reason I took 20 is not... It's not because of the trial, it's because of the infusion. The infusion was unlucky. Because it went on the haste enemy. I almost received an enemy there. That Power of Knowledge should be cut. Card does nothing. Oh. I don't know, I'm looking for the game to offer me a good thing to play for Chef. Symphony of the Soul. You know, moments ago I said to you I would click on any extract card they showed me in the next 2 clan packs. The implication behind that sentence was that I would click on Echo Infusion, Echo Transfer. What I did not consider is the fact that this game was going to show me Symphony of a Soul. That's terrible. Card is just god-awful. Maybe the worst card in the clan. I mean, is that a little harsh? No, this card's really bad. In extremely niche circumstances, it pops off. I'm gonna click on Hosting Kin. And I will take... I think I'll take another Restoration Detonation. Right path, we have an artifact and a green. The question is, what green would I find and play? The green is the Awoken banner. It's like, it's Husk Hermit, I think. Right? I think it's Husk Hermit. He's a playable frontliner. I could throw him like Echo Stone, but realistically he kills backline and then in theory Chef kills frontline, right? I think it's Husk Hermit. I don't really want anything at the steel shop, so let's go right. Airstone Housing is better than Priory's Cloak. The boys. I don't know, you could maybe play like... You could maybe play Thorned Hollow here. I know what you're thinking, doesn't that sound crazy? But he's Husk Hermit, basically. Kills the backline. Exists. I don't know, I haven't played this boy in a while. Let's give him a shot. Used to be, he was the boy. He was the best unit in the game, Thorned Hollow. Not so much anymore. I'm gonna grab that Extreme Stone, probably. I don't hate taking Bone Shine here. There's gonna be a turn where I can just kind of pass, I expect. And I can... yeah, I'll take it. I should mention, by the way, I do know that Thorned Hollow is unplayable in the next combat. I just have to take space for him. It was a stipulation I should have mentioned, but did not. The real question is, what infusion do I put on Thorned Hollow? I mean, honestly, Bogfly infusion and then multi-strike is not bad. That's a janky run, but I think it would work. The awkward part is that you kind of need Chef to go first somehow. It's not that bad, I suppose. This is Rage Talos. Ugh. I mean, she gets armor on Slay, but I don't mind giving her this armor to preserve the Chef's HP. I don't want my boy taking a 13 there. Don't forget that I need to take space at the end of this fight. And we'll win this fight pretty handedly, I expect, with Bogfly and the egg. I should have enough hits to kill the boss, or kill the enemies, I should say. A little Restoration Detonation doesn't hurt. Just pops off an enemy. Does give the kill to Talos, but Relentless is no question. We win Relentless handedly. I misplayed here because I needed to play Restoration Detonation last so I could get both of these echoes that I need, because Kariska doesn't let you... It refunds after you pay, but you still have to pay the 2. My mistake. I should have looked at that a little closer. This is a turn that I can pass. Take my 15 Pyre health. I think that is plenty. That's the best that I'm going to get. None of those cards I could play there. Or I could play them, but to what end, I suppose, is the better point. I believe... I gotta look at this a little bit. I think I can put enough... I put Root Seeds on the Chef, and then... If I push this enemy to the back, it's gonna hit me twice. And I wanna put damage on the Forge Disciple in the back, though, the big one. So that's what I'm gonna aim to do. I think that's right. I take, what, 4 plus 4? I take 8 for this now. It should be fine. That Reap was wasted, but it was wasted either way. Was that 13? I don't think it was 13, but it can't have been 13. Huh. Strange. Thought I had, no, I had 45. Is it 18? How much damage did I take from that? Am I losing it? I don't know. The only enemy that was infused was the maybe worst enemy to get infusion on there, so worst wave for it at the very least, but that's alright. I took damage on this combat, and I've taken damage on this run, but I don't think it was from mistakes. It was just kind of like, maybe there was a way for me to catch it, but I don't think it was that big of a deal. These 3 spells are not great. You could use Wurmkin Spike. Here's a fun idea for you. Your Relentless plan can be applying Reap to an enemy in Relentless and then letting the chef just beat the boss down, and then they just explode from all the echoes the chef puts up. I think this spell is good. I mean, Unearth Remains in Kinstone. I don't need purple desperately, so I'll go Wurmkin Spike here. There's Husk Hermit, but I'm gonna stick to the Thorned Hollow infusion, or Thorned Hollow idea, no infusion. I'm gonna stick to the Thorned Hollow idea. It's crazy, I know, but give it a shot. I don't have an infusion for him. No, I'm gonna do Bogfly, that's right. Never mind. I think Magic Shot because I wanna find holdover for Restoration, Detonation, Extreme Stone here. Let's go left. And if we don't see holdover, we can buy some -1s. Making Root Seeds cost less is good. Putting Consume down is pretty bad. Double stack, Fracture, Wurmkin Spike, I'm okay. No holdover. That's alright. I felt that one. I thought that was going to be a holdover. I really did. Thought that was the one. You can't take +1 size. I could play Shard Soul Carver and I think he would do alright, but I'm not doing it. I'm sticking to my guns. This is Thorned Hollow's episode. This episode is going to be titled Thorned Hollow Carries ? Or something like that, and Thorned Hollow's going to earn it, damn it. He's going to carry ? I'll take 10 pack shards here to just remove Power of Knowledge from my deck. That is an okay trade-off in my mind. Multi-strike's not that bad. 40 pack shards. I need to make a lot of removals now, but it's also Diligent Seraph. I think multi-strike's not that bad. I want to consider playing bottom floor here based on the draw. It's a bad draw. If I had Thorned Hollow, this would actually be a really good draw, but I don't, so it's bad. Yeah, the end. This deck needs to remove Train Stewards and this Bogfly, Bog Chrysalis nonsense. Yeah, I would have liked to have killed this 15 times 3 here. Maybe I could. No, I could have done 8. It's alright. The second best outcome is keeping my Thorned Hollow alive. This is concerning, I must say. This is looking kind of bad. I think the multi-strike might have been a mistake. I don't know, I was thinking it wouldn't be that bad until I realized I don't have any healing. Yeah. It's a bit of a problem. I just have no way to keep you alive, Mr. Thorned Hollow. No holdover means I have no healing. No healing means Thorned Hollow is pretty worthless, I would say. He's not looking the greatest, let me say that. I have to find holdover. If I find holdover, the whole tone of the run changes, but I think I just die here, come to look at it. I think I die to this Clipped Guardian, right? 12, 24, oh yeah, I'm super dead. Let me try this a slightly different way. I mean, you know, the multi-strike was a little aggressive, I suppose. It made sense, because I was like, Thorned Hollow, spikes, spikes, multi-strike, spikes, kills enemies. Good. Bad. Very bad. So we're going to play this a different way, and the different way is we're just going to play Thorned Hollow not on the floor with Chef. I'm gonna play this in a different way, and the different way is without Thorned Hollow. Now, if you look at this turn, put 6 Reap with 1 Echo. I could put... I think you play Thorned Hollow Restoration Detonation, right? Yeah, that's better. The trick of this run, or of this combat, is to realize that Thorned Hollow is worthless. That's what you had to take away. I also don't know if you could play Echo Transfer, you'd probably be better off as well. But tall order. I need to hatch my egg, which I do. I would prefer to not take 12, but in playing that the way that I have, it's a little bad. It's bad because I can't really push the damage I need to kill this wave. No, I sure can't. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hit me for 48. I think I'll live this time though, and that's all that I really care about. I think I live, right? Do I live? Yeah, no problem. Not a concern. This looks, I mean, you have eyes. You can see how this run looks right now. Do not fear. I have the utmost confidence in my good friend Thorned Hollow. In my absolute brother. My man would not let me down. The problem is that I have to hold over Restoration Detonation instead of holding over, like, I don't know, Echo Transfer. And is it even worth it? We'll see. I believe. Fogflies are just better, aren't they? Yo, Petrified Crucible! Thorned Hollow! This is his time. I knew he wouldn't let me down. Return Soul's okay. None of these cards heal me. They don't seem very good as a result. Could take Pyre Grow, but I don't think it's right. I need to go left. As much as I would like to upgrade Thorned Hollow, if I don't find Holdover, this run is dead in the water. The whole idea was, like, if I could be putting plus 20 consume on Restore, we might be in a different position. Yeah, this run's fucked. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. We're dead. We're very dead. But I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna rage. Wow, that's really bad on the pack shards front too. The game really doesn't want me doing this shit. This is 25, so I have to be at 75 on ring 5? That's so bad, wow. Wow, that's so bad. Oh man. Monstertrain's doing me dirty in this run. I try to give Thorned Hollow his own episode, and what does Monstertrain do? It says, beat it, bitch. Scram, loser. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate Restoration Detonation, assuming we live this next combat. Which of course we do. Thorned Hollow would never let me die here. Right. Right. If I had seen Holdover there, I think we would actually be in an okay spot. But like, oh man. At least, you know, this is a combat we can live. I'll tell you that. I think we have a chance. Okay, my chances have dropped significantly upon seeing that tank. I feel much less good. But we're not out of it yet. What you gotta know is that I'm not gonna give up. I've been hard on Thorned Hollow all his life. It's time for my boy to have his time. Time for my boy to have his time? Hell yeah, sure. That's what I said. 60. I'm gonna go ahead and return Soul a Fracture here to pop this. If you fracture now, I can pull Extreme Stone Restoration Detonation and send the 160 to the Shadow Realm. Oh, I thought it was bottom card and I was gonna be unhappy with Monstertrain. But no, we're okay. Monstertrain and I were still friends. Hopefully this wasn't Crystal Cloak. Also, the Lifesteal boss poses his own difficulties, but it's not Crystal Cloak, so that's a W in my book. Go ahead and burn the root seeds. 16 lifesteal. Enact game plan Wurmkin spike here. We're in a restoration detonation as well. Yeah, in this combat we saw the exact game plan come to fruition. I played restoration detonation and it killed a lot of high priority enemies. If I could play that restoration detonation every turn, I think this run would actually be fine. No, we don't even get to see the nuke go off. We lived though. This combat was livable and we lived. This is groundbreaking, I would say. I'm gonna skip that. And oh, these are 3 cards. One of them is Channel Song. I got too excited. But Focus Growth is a healing card, and I need to pick healing cards right now. The end. Gonna go right as the aforementioned plan outlined. And I'm gonna cut out Train Steward, and I'm gonna cut out Bog Chrysalis. As the plan mentioned, we're gonna duplicate the Restoration Detonation for the pack shards, and I think that card's good here. Oh, I didn't need to take that money. 20. I miscalculated. I thought I had 25. I have 35. I could have taken 10 less, but this is fine. This is alright. Am I gonna commit the greatest caper known to man? The greatest trick that Thorned Hollow ever pulled was convincing man that he didn't exist? Something like that? I kinda wanna just drop bottom floor here. I'm gonna do it. You know what I say? When you're facing down your problems, just send it. That's the classic line. When you're facing down your problems, just send it. I am going to incant shard here. Rather unfortunate. I'm gonna play Restoration Detonation, and I think that's it. I have to play Restoration Detonation there. I gotta bring this guy to full health. I want to play the Wurmkin Spike, but it's just bad now. I'm gonna end my turn. Yeah, this guy gets negative rejuvenation. That man's having a bad one. But that's all gonna change when I hit the holdover that was promised. Who promised it? Me. I promise you a holdover does exist. And I'm gonna find it on this run. Trust. I'm playing Return Soul here. I can Return Soul back. The interesting thing is Return Soul doesn't clear the X increase on these cards. I can Return Soul back Fracture and things like that to make it more of a more palatable card to play. Look at this lad. 12 spikes. Who wants the smoke? You hit me for 9. Can I? If I fracture you twice, you have 24, and you'll take 12. So I never get to a point where you die. I had to set a shard ahead of time, but I don't think it was possible. Maybe it was possible on the top floor when Arcus was up there. I don't know if he was up there or not. I wasn't really looking. I don't need to focus growth, and what I should do here is I should start stacking Reap on Arcus, because I think that might be a real plan to kill the boss. I mentioned it as just an idea, like a fun, maybe this is something I can do. I think this might be my legitimate plan. I'm gonna play out the Restoration Detonations. I want to play Wurmkin Spike on Arcus, but yeah, I don't... Made it X-2. We just gotta keep reaping. Tough though, isn't it? Rather tough. Our health is high, our damage output's low. I'm gonna go ahead and Return Soul the Echo Transfer so that I get it again for sure. And then... See, you do 200 per round. Maybe we have enough. The damage, it's really hard to calculate the damage that this floor does. Because it's like, wait, you got 18 spikes, you got 200-ish damage here. I don't know, it's messy. Just throw everything at him and see where we end up. We're off by like 400. That's not good. It's a very bad look. This Bogfly gets to take one swing. So this Bogfly maybe just does it. Alright, Mr. Bogfly. Let me see you do something. Well, let me see this Bogfly pull off a miracle. That's what I want to see here. I want to see a miracle out of this Bogfly. The best card for Bogfly to play right now is Fracture. 86. I have 0 up there. But that's 117. Ah, this is not enough fractures. That's a shame. Let me play this on top floor this time and see. I think if I have 2 more turns of scaling, it's fine. Why did I play bottom floor? Does anyone know? It's like, this is a mistake, but one of the reasons that I got punished so hard is because turn 2, the incant shard went on the floor with my units, and that was bad. I played bottom floor so I could Restoration Detonation to kill a Sycophant, which makes no sense. I mean, really, I just played bottom floor to see what would happen, to be honest with you. I didn't have a plan, I didn't really have a reason, I just played bottom floor for the fun of it. It wasn't good, and I think we'll win when we play top floor. Just having 2 more turns to prep for Arcus is good. It's more time to stack up Fracture, which I'm going to be aiming to do. So gonna go ahead and drop this Wurmkin spike now. You know, playing like I did in the last go around of this fight, it was bad, don't get me wrong, but it also gets to set the stage for some fun heroics. Like, imagine that Bogfly really does save me there. That would be spectacular. Right? Who wouldn't like to see that? Oh. I want to... Hosting him. I want to Fracture Arcus, but I think it's better to just start putting Echoes on the other floors. Thorned Hollow, by the way. You can't see it right now, but I'm shaking my head. Thorned Hollow? SMH. I don't think he's that good. Now, it has been overall a pretty bad set of events for Mr. Hollow, so I'm not ready to pass my judgment yet. I took him in a run where I didn't find the holdover that I took. I predicated this run on finding holdover for this player, and did not find it, so it's not really fair. TBH. Yes, I should have put Fracture on the Cool Marksman so I could play Root Seeds here. A really weird turn to optimize, but eh. Gotta dodge the Incant Shard there with it way too many vital cards. Would absolutely ruin me. Just gonna keep on fracturing. Am I going to use this starter card to kill Arcus? Strong maybe. Root seeds. I'm just gonna keep fracturing. Start return souling for Fracture. He's dying. He's dying to Fracture. Seeds, root seeds. We get our Spine Chief to 101 times 2. Now look at that. Yeah, so I was off by a scaling factor of about 2 turns. I want to see how much he takes from the lead here. 374. Yeah. Unleash? Not exactly what I'm looking for. Echoes is a pretty big payoff card here. Add to the density of cards that scale Spine Chief. I have a lot of, and by a lot of I mean exactly focus growth for draw next turns. I don't really feel like I need all this energy. I went to double magic shop, so I made all my root seeds free. I think I'm allowed to take draw here. Alright. I mean, I gotta go to a steel shop at some point. I think I'll go to this steel shop, and then we'll go to the duplicate and magic shop. I'm gonna end up at 110 if I do that. I gotta upgrade this Thorned Hollow. I'm gonna give him plus 25. I want to give him plus 3 per echo, and I want to hit multi-strike here. Okay. This guy fucks. Now you give me increased damage per spike, and we have a really cool looking run. Yeah, build a card. Armor, Frostbite, Sap. I want this card to be regen. So give me armor. No regen. Armor, I guess. Oh, I guess I just skip that. Card draw or money? This is a really bad card. Yeah, I don't want this card. 10 armor plus 1 draw. This wasn't good. And I don't think you can make a card that I would take at this stage of the game. Not with those choices. I would take like regen or healing. Or buff, I guess. But I didn't get those. I got pretty garbage options. But we're going Infector 3 here. I did do some resets on this run. I don't really feel bad about that because this line is weird. And that's it. Like, this is a weird idea. It's not really intuitive. But if I had done it first try, that would have been cool. I don't want to buy anything else here. Let's go. I mean, I was capable of playing this run and winning it first try. It's just like, what did I play bottom for? Hell, I will never know what compelled me in that moment. Just slap myself on down the bottom for. But here we are now in the after going, hey, what the hell was I thinking? This is a bad combat, in case you're wondering. And it bodes poorly because Diligent Seraph is going to be a similarly bad combat. There is now a clear reason that I was supposed to and should have taken energy, and is to fight the curses. I forgot about the curses. Indeed. Yeah, I can draw a Restoration Detonation on the next turn, so I shouldn't Restoration Detonation right now and full heal Thorned Hollow. I should leave that Restoration Detonation on the table because it may... Sorry, I'm moving my mic real quick. It may come in handy, and it did. Glad I did that. What we want to do is we want to try and reach, and we won't reach it right now. We want to try and reach enough where I can kill purifiers that have 10 HP conveniently with Re. That's the next aim. Steel Enhancer. I think you go Root Seed Self-Mutilation. Goes on Chef here. Wow, and I still don't crack to hit this Gilded Wing? That's crazy. That's a shame. That's a lot of damage. Yeah, that's 50 for that. I mean, the run still is looking for one specific pickup. My whole game plan is this Restoration Detonation, and so it's been really rough. 97 times 3. I need to increase my number of draws next turn. I'm gonna die presently. I don't feel very hopeful. I feel death. The icy claws have reached towards me. Restoration Detonation can't save me because these enemies don't do enough damage for it. I believe death approaches. Never mind, that was just the... Oh, it's the breakpoint because Thorned Hollow hits through the steel wings now. Huge. We are on the razor's edge, as we often find ourselves. Don't you worry. I'm gonna find this holdover, and we are gonna live happily ever after. Trust me, happily ever after is our fate. I know. I know it to be true. The loss of echoes from Echoes of the Past is weird because it makes my Thorned Hollow do less damage, and having my Thorned Hollow do less damage was very bad in this combat. I needed him to do a lot of damage, and he was doing only a little damage. But in Relentless, he scales very well. We have some big damage, and this is a dub. I did take 50. And 27 HP is not what I want to go see Seraph the Diligent with, but it's been a rocky road. Don't want any more healing. I have to rely on this Restoration Detonation now. So I'm going left. This is the plan. The game is gonna show me holdover or I'm gonna die mad. That's just how it is. Also, you wanna show me the plus attack for Spike's relic? The one time in my life I've ever thought about wanting that. No. You could take a pretty mediocre middle relic there. I don't remember what it was, but there was one there that made me go, yeah, that's passable. But I'm going big. Hey, it's holdover. Huge. You hold over restoration detonation. Now you don't get more value for duplicating it, which is fine. Make sure I don't burn it now. And we're gonna hell then. Good question. What are we gonna hell then? I want to do it on restoration detonation, obviously, but I don't really get much value out of it because I'm not going to be taking enough damage for it. I think I hell vent echo transfer. Yeah, I'm going to hell vent echo transfer. And then we're going to crack the horde. Oh, plus 40 pyre health is pretty good. One extra space for echoes on the floor is also good, but plus 40 HP on my pyre is huge here. Okay, let's grab a plus 10 for restoration detonation, and let's go. Diligent Seraph. This will be the hardest fight, I believe. Well, we could just walk into the Divinity, see the damage shield combat, and get clapped. Although we have the Thorned Hollow, but the damage shield doesn't actually exist. I don't know how this is. I am... Ah, yeah. I am a fool is what I am. Ah, yeah. Okay. I mean, I just leave that in. I forgot that this is Diligent Seraph, and I went, hey, where'd that card go that I wanted to play? Found it. I burn Focus Growth here. As much as I don't want to, I burn this card. I have to burn it. I need to keep Echo Transfer. So, that's that. And these curses are going to melt, and it's going to be hard to stabilize here. We draw Restoration Detonation. A moment of hope shines through. Burn Steel Enhancer. Play that. The Vengeful Shards are just going to hit me, and there's nothing I can do. And the Thorned Hollow spikes do something. That's a lot of damage game. Ah, but it's not enough damage to kill Thorned Hollow. My boy. It's good that as long as he takes non-lethal damage, it's good enough. I'm gonna hit you for the same amount. Just making sure I didn't burn that. I felt like I played something ahead of that one, but I wasn't certain. I was a little worried for a second there. Maybe I should have grabbed this thing. Although Hosting Kin comes in clutch here. If I... 230. If I... Because ideally I would Hosting Kin the Purifier. I think I Hosting Kin here. And we want to take a second. We want to come down here and think about if I can kill this Wiltwings. I cannot. This is only 8 damage. So the best thing to do is Root Seeds. He'll die to spikes, which is passable at least. Or no, he'll die to Restoration Detonation. Actually, that was what I was trying to stop. I don't want this guy dying to Restoration Detonation because I don't want this guy going up at 76 HP. And, you know, all that works out just a little bit better if you can pop this Wiltwings easier. Or not, pop this Wiltwings prior, or move it to the back and then kill the Gilded Wing with Restoration Detonation. But none of that happens, and we're going to take a slap here. 7 times 3, but I make my man do 1 times 2. It's minus 40 for plus 36. So you'll take 30, putting you to 160. So it's the same amount of damage, right? You're gonna put 107 on the back guy instead of 101 with this play? 137? Oh, I forgot about this. Okay. Call that passable. Take 20, not the end of the world. Restoration Detonation gets to connect on a real enemy. Doesn't even need to, but it does. Yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna focus up on killing this Wiltwings off. I have to play Root Seeds here on this floor. My Restoration Detonation away one of these guys just to heal them up mainly, and I need to hold it over. And then Self-Mutilation. Echo Transfer shouldn't... No, it won't change anything. All of these backline enemies die to the spikes. Okay. Seraph takes 244 then? Huh. Interesting. Here's the Restoration Detonation that I accidentally consume on. Here's the other Restoration Detonation to just chunk right through this enemy if I want to. I want to play an Echo Transfer here for the energy. Do I want to hold this card over? I might not want to hold this card over anymore. The waves are pretty weak. No, I'd rather have them at full health. Yeah. I don't know if we have enough health to kill Seraph. We're relying entirely on our base health numbers being enough. I think I need to Wurmkin. I do need to Wurmkin Spike. I want to kill this Lightwing so I don't take 25 to my Thorned Hollow. So I need to Wurmkin Spike at 2x, I believe. Ideally I would do it at 3x, but I don't want to take 5 to Pyre. These enemies all die. Go ahead and burn that Root Seeds. I'm going to play Self-Mutilation Wurmkin Spike here. And I'm going to let go of the Restoration Detonation. No, I'm going to take the 5 to Pyre here. I'm going to take the 5. I think this is really tight, and I need to take this 5. Maybe I'm wrong, and I take 5 for no reason, but I think this is super close. Oh, it's not close. I lost. Interesting. I won! That is extremely surprising. Well, I'm glad I took that 5. I feel like a genius after that. What happened off of that? Oh, we got a breakpoint where the Thorned Hollow was one more round. And that let the 14 Reap I applied kill. Dude, what a run. I'm gonna move the microphone back. Click fight. I am going to sit forward. And we're gonna suss out this combat. This combat should be easier than the last two because there's no curses. And the curses were slowing me down a ton. So. And we also have an enemy to always hit, so we always will have echoes maxed out. I guess that doesn't really matter, but still nice. Let's start with putting Reap to ping off damage shields here. Do some of that. Yeah, like this. I'm gonna go ahead and Reap all of those guys up to clear their shield. What do I return soul for? Fracture? I guess. I don't really want to keep fractures in, so. Could try to, but I don't think I will be able to stack up enough to kill the Shade Wings. He'll die from one hit of the Thorned Hollow, ideally. And Hosting Kin could push this Clip Defender to the back. It does do a lot. It does 8. But am I worried about that wave? Not really. This guy's 55 times 2. I think I'll hold the Hosting Kin. This deck would seem... I think it would look better if I had... What is it? I need Quick on Spine Sheath. No Worm can spike this wave. Interesting. Now, if you want to see something real funny, if you fracture here, yeah, because enemies die procedurally, I've showcased this 100 times now perhaps, but the Wiltwings will die and the Harvest will trigger before the Redirector can die at the back. It's consistent, it's just consistently bad for the player. Okay, we just have to solve out surviving this wave, which I think is easier than it may sound. Oh yeah, it's super easy because I can just play Restoration Detonation twice, go right through that enemy in the front, and we're chilling. Push right on through. No problem. Wurmkin Spike pays out. Does what it was intended to do finally. Go ahead and throw... I don't want to incant too much because I don't feel like doing the math. Oh, that's probably fine. I can incant up here. I feel actually pretty confident. I think that's fine. Yeah, and I need to do that to get through chains, I feel. If I survive chains, I think we win this round, but it's hard. Very hard. I mean, I do get to... Double restoration? I'm not sure. I'll push this enemy to the back. Oh, I restoration on Chef. Yeah, I definitely double restoration. Chef's dying. I'm starting to feel like I might be able to make it through this, which is a... You know, Monster Train, sometimes I feel hope and then the game just dashes me across the rocks, so I'm not ready to feel hopeful yet, but I'm getting close. This is a fun run. I often say I don't feel like I play anything too interesting in this game. This is a pretty fun one. Okay. Let's do some considering, shall we? Currently, I am dead. I am dead barely. Because these light harnessers go up, they hit me twice, and they will kill me. What am I going to do about this? Good question. Let's start with a few obvious ideas. 47 times 2 kills the Gilded Wings. 36 and 47. So if I put a Root Seeds here... Actually, if I put down Root Seeds, I should, yeah, kill one at least, because then extra hit makes this kill here. I think if I play this, yeah. I think if I play Fracture, that added 18. If I Fracture, Return Soul, Fracture, you might die. He misses it by 2, but that's okay. We'll live. Sad. Does regen trigger at the same frame as a Reap? You see that? I don't think regen triggered at the same time as Reap did there. Looks like it is time to be crushed. I believe this is the end. I don't think I can do anything fancy to live this. This is too much damage, and I don't have my restoration detonations, and they have spell shield. I don't have an answer for this, sadly. Let's throw some stuff around and see what happens. You lose on Echo Transfer, huh? I think it's just a little too slow to get through this 240, sadly. I don't think there's anything I can do to change the S outcome. The S outcome. It's so close, man. If we kill this enemy, we win this. It's so close. It's what? It's like 100 damage off, but I don't think it's here. I think there's one change that I would make to this run, seeing how it played out. Something that I overlooked when it was offered to me, but should have taken, is Preserve Thorns. Stings would allow me to... If I had 3 stings in this deck right now, I could pick off all of these spell shields that are generated, and then I could use Restoration Detonation to cut right through these enemies. It's a shame. Because I just did not really... It's never really been an issue where I didn't have a way to ping off the spell shield, so I never thought about it. But yeah, I got robbed by all the spell shields, and that's a shame. Actually might have died to the next boss that spawned, because I'm not sure I had enough. I don't think I had enough health. Or I would have no, I would have had 1 energy, I would have been fine. Yeah, I missed that by like 100 HP on that one enemy. Or one Preserve Thorn Stake. That's fun though. It was a good run. Thorned Hollow. I think it was bad. Like overall, I think that was a bad pick. I think that run's better if you play the Bogfly Cocoon all the way. Like the Thorned Hollow with Multi-Strike and Bogfly Infusion was cool, but you know what's better? Bogfly Egg? Yeah, It's just better. +8 per echo, but we could have just had like +13 per echo on some bogflies, and the bogflies would have had plenty of health too. I don't know. I don't respect Thorned Hollow. The spikes just aren't that good. They did a lot of work on Seraph, I guess. I should give it that. On Seraph, the spikes did a lot of work, and his high health pool did a lot as well. So maybe there's some merit to this unit, but I don't know. I'll just keep taking him. Eventually, I'll know. Maybe. I don't know. I think he's bad, but maybe there's something cool. Maybe there's something cool in there. I'm sure of it, but this wasn't it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.